My name is Jim McGillivray and this is the Pipe Box, your source for all things piping. If you find this video useful, please give it a like and please subscribe to this YouTube channel to see more videos like this. We're going to go over a couple of tunes today, and you can print out the music to these tunes by going back to the description of this video on my YouTube channel. You'll see a link to a PDF there. Today I would like to do two tunes with you, a pair of lovely but simple 4/4 marches. Both have an Irish connection, though only one of them is actually an Irish tune. The first one is called The Irish Guard's Welcome to Toronto. It was written by a friend of mine, the late Angus MacDowell of Montreal. It was originally written as a 4-parted tune, but it stands very nicely as a 2-parted tune on its own. The second tune is called The Dawning of the Day. It's an Irish song written originally by Edward Walsh in the mid-19th century. I'd like to start out here by just playing the two tunes for you. As I play them, one thing I would like you to notice is the key change between the first tune and the second tune. The first tune is in the key of D, the second tune is in the key of A, and playing the key of A after the key of D makes for an uplifting and cheerful break. We'll talk about this more later. For now, let's listen to the tunes. That was the Irish Guard's Welcome to Toronto and The Dawning of the Day, played on a Dagger electronic chanter. Let's start now with the Irish Guard's Welcome to Toronto. Let's have a look at the whole score. The technique in this tune is very straightforward. You need to be able to play doublings on E, high G, and high A, as well as a D throw and a D strike. So the grace noting is not hard. Some of the note combinations might be new to you, and you need to watch very carefully for dotted eighth notes. As you can see in this score, the tune mixes even and pointed eighth notes, and you must be very alert for which couplets are even and which couplets are pointed. Also, watch for the placement of E grace notes throughout this tune. I've noticed over the years that inexperienced players tend to gravitate to G grace notes exclusively. Watch for the E grace notes here on low G and low A. I want you to notice that when I do encounter a dotted eighth note in this tune, I point it, and I really cut the 16th note after it. Something like this. Another thing I'm trying to do in this tune is play it as rhythmically as possible. And the way I do this is to make sure that I don't hit any beat ahead of the beat. This often happens when there's a grace note or a doubling on a beat, and we have a tendency to play those grace notes or doublings a little bit early. So as you go through this tune, think about hitting the beat notes as late as you can. If there's a grace note on the beat note, make sure the grace note finger hits the chanter when the foot hits the floor. Something like this in the first line of the second part. Lots of pointing and laid back expression. As I mentioned earlier, this tune is in the key of D. How do I know that? Well, there's a fairly simple way to tell. It's not foolproof, but it works most of the time. If you look at the last note in a tune, and in Irish Guards it's a D, that last note usually represents the key the tune is written in. Irish Guards is in D. Our second tune, Dawning of the Day, ends on low A, and is in fact in the key of A. Let's look at the score for Dawning of the Day. As you can see again, this is not a technique-heavy tune. You need to be able to play grips, burls, and doublings on high A, E, C, and B. The key to this tune is to play what technique there is squarely on the beat. For example, in bars 1 and 2, you see a grip, followed by a C doubling. In bar 2, you see an E doubling, followed by an E strike. I'd like you to play all those pieces of technique as much on the beat as possible. For the E and C doublings, when the G grace note finger at the start of the doubling hits the chanter, your foot hits the floor. Here are bar 1 and 2. Again. To me, bar 3 and bar 15 have the trickiest element. This is just before the ending. If you look at the end of bar 3, you'll see a low A 16th note followed by a dotted B 8th note. In my experience, pipers tend to play that short low A early and short. I want you to do the exact opposite. I want you to wait for that low A, and when you hit it, I want you to articulate it nicely. I want you to give it a little bit of length, even though it's a short note. Something like this. Again. Finally, in line 3, we have a total of 6 doublings and half doublings in 4 bars. We also have a bar 11, that has 4 quarter notes in a row. It's important as you go through this line and the rest of the tune, again, that you hit the doublings all on the beat, not ahead. And when you hit a run of quarter notes, be patient. Give each quarter note its full due. Don't rush through that bar. Here's line 3. Measured and on the beat. That's the key to playing these 4/4 marches well. So there is your new 4/4 set. Take it as slowly as you need to play it technically well. Once you're comfortable with the tune, what note comes next, you can bring your tempo up somewhere in the low or mid 80 beat per minute area. Rarely would you ever hear tunes like this played faster than 90 or 92 beats per minute. You'll find harmonies to both of these tunes on my pipetunes.ca tune download website. Please visit. That's it for me, Jim McGillivray, from the Pipe Box. Good piping.